Okay, well, I'm just trying to get a couple things loaded here. And then we'll go live. Okay. Let me get this going. Okay. So here we are. Okay, that's going good. Just gotta bring the music down a little bit. Okay. All right, let's turn this up a little bit. All right. Well, so we're back with another watch build here. And we're going to be building another submariner. Let me get this guy out. This is the one we're going to be building, this guy. With some pretty cool parts here. So we are going to have these sort of square excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. And this one was pretty rough. So it was just I'm just getting over that. So I'm still a little congested. So I don't know what these specifically are called, but these little sort of square diamond shaped hands I really like, especially on a submariner. So we're going to go with these hands. We are going to, our dial is going to be pretty unique. We got a carbon fiber dial, and I haven't done one of these before, but look at that. Oh, that is so sweet. So that is going to look super sick on there. So we're going to be making it with that. Can't wait to do that. And then obviously our trusty Seiko movement on this one. So let's get going. Let's get started. All right, so first things first, we got to prep our movement. And I hope that the person I'm building this for shows up on stream, because I always love to see people actually watch their watches get built. Here's our little crown stem. We're going to put that off here to the side. And we'll get this movement going. So obviously everything I build is a NH35 movement. Just reliable workhorse when it comes to, you know, what it does and how well it is. It's not like, I wouldn't say an ultra premium movement, but it gets the job done way good. It's not even a thing, right? So first things first, we'll get this dial in place. Of course, we got to trim off these extra legs, so we got to find the ones that we don't need. So it looks like we are trimming this guy. Okay, we're taking that guy off. I like to do that, just grab it with these guys, with these little tweezers, and I twist it till it breaks loose. This one's stuck on there pretty well, which is a good sign. It means you know, these are attached pretty well on there. Man, those are stuck on there pretty good. I'm sure that guy's off. All right, so we got this guy up here. Oops. And then So we got to get rid of this top guy. All right. Let's see if these are trimmed correctly. Okay, that works. The only problem now is these little studs were actually so they were in place so good. We gotta file these down. So let me grab something for that. Now we could do these by hand, and they might take a minute to dry. Let me try like that before I bust out the Dremel tool. Okay, that's almost flat actually. It's not too bad. It's good. And a little scratching on the back is not a big deal. Part's not visible anyways, and more important to make sure that these things are flat. Okay, that's nice and smooth. Already done. Easy peasy. All right, so now we're just gonna put this on right here. We have to get that aligned. Perfect. Blow that off to make sure there isn't any dust. Now for the hands. So look at, expose the hands and get these ready. Oh. These off to the side. All right, well, let's get this thing set up. So like I always do to set this up, we what we do is we turn this until the date changes, and then that's when we know we're at 24 hour or that midnight. Then we know to set the hands up at midnight. So as soon as this guy clicks over, right there, that's midnight. So now we're going to set our hands there. My favorite tool right here. Let me move this off so you guys can see how I press these on. My hands. All right. So our hand goes first. That looks like it's set correctly. All right. Now we do the minute hand. All right, we're almost there with the second hand. By the way, this tool right here is like the absolute best investment I've made with watchmaking. I've said it like 100 times before, but it saves me so much time. This part used to be like, it would take me forever. The second hand's still always challenging. This one doesn't have to line up perfect because of just because it doesn't. Because the seconds vary a little bit. Let me see, this guy's always tough. So I'm gonna try to get this in. Oh man. It also doesn't help that I'm like practically blind. There's like a tiny hole right there, and they all have to line up. There's like a stem and a hole, and it's always challenging to get them all. All right, let's see here. Let's go. Oh, the second hand is challenging. There we go. Money. All right, I got it. So now we got it all set up. Now we got to make sure that nothing rubs, and we'll make sure that we got to clearance that minute hand a little bit. All right, so now we're just gonna keep going until the date changes again. That should happen right here. Boom, perfect. Okay, so now let's clearance this minute hand a little bit. I gotta bend this second hand up a little bit, just because it's hitting the. There we go. That looks like everything clears. Line this up a little bit. We'll let that spin around for a minute. While I prep the case. So you can see it now. It's just kind of working through. We'll see if the second hand skips or hits anything in the meantime. We are going to be opening up the case here. And then we are going to take out let's get we got to get this seal out, because we got to figure that out in a little bit. We got to lubricate it and make sure it's watertight. All right, so here's our case. Now we just got to prep this guy. So we got to, the dust is the biggest thing. You could see here, there's a little speck of dust, and there's a fingerprint. So what we're gonna do is blow as much of it out with that. Then we have this little sticky, it's like a Play-Doh type thing, but it's sticky, and so it picks up a lot of the dust. So I just use a microfiber on the backside to make sure none of that, what we see through the glass, is on the opposite side. But there's that one white dot, you could see it there. We're gonna pick that off with this. So that's how we do that. So we're gonna go through, make sure it's all picked out, and then looks like there's a little bit of oil, so we'll just make sure that comes off like that. And we're pretty much there. You can see it right here. That's nice and clean. No dust or finger smudge marks. So we'll take the crown off. Everything seems to be okay with this guy. So we're going to remove the stem here. We're going to put in a new one. And then right here, okay, so now we have our movement without the stem. Oop. It's all right, nothing happened right there. Shoot. Gonna make this side. There, we got a little dust on the inside, so we got to clean that again. Looks kind of okay. Looks like we got a little bit on the inside right here. We'll clean that up right now. Let me try to drop the tool. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. So this part I'm just super picky about because any dust on the inside of the case is like completely visible once the watch is assembled, and that's like even just the tiniest little speck of dust is like the most annoying thing. On the outside, not a big deal because you can just wipe it down, but on the inside, it's semi-permanent. All right, that looks good. So from there, we just kind of put this guy in alignment. So then our goal here is to align this with the stem, but what we got to do is we got to trim. We got to trim the movement stem. So that's this guy. We got to cut this down. Normally it's always been about 5 millimeters, but I always check. Like, it's a pretty safe bet if I wanted to just kind of eyeball it and do 5 millimeters. But the way we check is we take it, and this is going to come in here like that. We're just going to press that in. Oops. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to measure from the end of here, the end of the case, over to the end of the crown, and then that's how much we've got to trim off. So normally it's about 5 millimeters. So we're just going to this one's about 5.7 millimeters. So we'll do that. We'll take about 5.7 off. So this part here is probably the most time consuming. Man, I got a couple little jitters right now. That's not fun. So the way we do that is we're going to like literally cut it off. But I'm gonna, before we do that, I'm gonna double check with these pliers. Yeah, that's screwed down all the way. So the method that I've gotten for these to cut these down, and it seems to work pretty well, pretty consistently, is that I literally, see how we saved this at 5/7. I press it up against one end, take my pliers and I press them up against the other like that, and that's about my 5/7 right there. About there. And so then we're just gonna squeeze and trim that off. Oop, that little piece went flying. Now we put it in this little pin vise right here, and we're going to tighten this down. And then we have to take the our file and work down that edge, because if you can, I don't know if it's hard to see, but it's like the threads are kind of off, and so it won't thread into that tiny stem. So we just have to kind of fix it right here by grinding it down a little bit. This is probably the most time consuming part. But we'll get it. We'll get it figured out here pretty quick. All right, there we go. So we're gonna see if this will thread on nice. No, there's still a little bit of resistance, which means we just have to keep working at this a little bit. That's probably the most time consuming part, but it goes by. It's pretty effortless. It's just time consuming. So how's everybody's day, evening? It's raining over here where I'm at. My son's baseball game was canceled, so that's why I had a little opening in time to finish this watch for my buddy. And this whole watch has sort of been a little bit of a saga. The original case I had gotten for it was shipped defective, and since it came from a different country, it's like a pain to get it back. But good thing I had this extra submariner case that I think it's actually gonna turn out better than the other one. It's gonna look very classic, very traditional, and I like the stainless look of it. There we go. Let's see if we can get this guy going. I think for some reason, this guy does not want to cooperate. There we go. That's better. We're locked in. Let's see how close we got here. Be very delicate here. Okay. So we are still off quite a bit. Maybe like another millimeter, because this looks like it might thread on. No. That gap's still way too big. So we'll just take it off and do it again. This is why this part's time consuming, just because it takes so long to go through all the little back and forth of this part. So I want to say it's probably like another millimeter off of this thing. To save time, I'm just going to clip it like this. Sorry, I had to do that off camera because I don't want to get that little shard on here. Cool. All right, so we're still going. This one should be a little easier. You can almost know or just hear when this thing is at the right spot just because of the way it sounds and the way it feels. It glides a little smoother over the file when it's completely flat. Otherwise, you can still feel it catching on some material. Oh, almost lost that. All right, so we're almost there. All right, so see if I hope that's it. Well, that looks better. That looks way better. Let's see if we can screw this in. I guess not. We gotta go a little more. Let me make sure this is screwed in all the way, because it feels like it's not. All right, let's see. Yep, that was screwed in all the way. All right. It just means we got to sand it down a little, or file it down a little more. No worries. It's not that much more now. Just make sure that this guy... Yeah, that works. Okay. So we're on the right track. Just a little more filing and some more work here. What's nice about all this is, you know, the patience part, and that's what I like. It's just details. It's just kind of like a good metaphor to life about being patient and just working through the small stuff. Doesn't always have to be fancy or, you know, anything giant. Just be something simple that you just work at and whittle away until it's right. Kind of like this stem right here. And we're just gonna sand it, keep moving on it until it's just right for what we need it. I mean, I might try to cut it one more time, but might try to cut it one more time. It depends. We'll see how this one goes. That really goes down far, doesn't it? I think we're gonna have to cut it another millimeter. Oh, this one's actually gonna end up being a lot shorter than anything I've ever made before. So let's take this apart. All right, third time's the charm, right? Let's cut this down again. Go. All right, we're almost there. It's a little rough. We'll get there. I'm trying not to talk too much because I'm a little congested still. And the more I talk, the more I want to cough. And I definitely don't want to be coughing on camera. Just feel a little bit of congestion in the chest. Our fruits here are almost done. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get this guy wrapped up. Aha. That is spot on. There we go. Let's go. Oh, man. I could probably shave off a little more. You see how there's that little tiny gap right in there? That we need to take care of. Oh, man. Almost there. See how much that compresses? So we have a ton of room. But I'll show you how flush that this should sit. I'm sorry about that. But what? I'll show you. This is how far we need to go. So see, that's a nice flush fit right there. So you got to take off maybe like 1 more millimeter. All right. Hopefully this is the last one. I'm pretty sure it is. Because this stem is getting tiny. See if this fits right here. If it does, we're golden. Much better. Sweet. Okay, so let's get some lube on this gasket, and that's an easy process right here. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna put the case back. Let me make sure it's clean. Okay, now we're going to take our trusty ball. Take that off for now. All right, there we go. Check that out. So let's take off all these little plastics around the whole watch. Give it a little polish. And then put the strap on, and we will be good to go. Man, check this out. This thing looks beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh, that black dial is so nice. And the Cyclops right there is so good. I mean, this thing is like super sweet. Yeah. Just polish it up a little bit here by hand. I just like these stainless cases because how they just, the polish on them is so nice. So we have our 24-hour bezel right there. This thing is sweet. All right, let's get this guy loaded up, and then this one, watch number 10, is a wrap. All right, let's get this thing going. We got the Jubilee strap right here, and let me get the pins. This guy goes like, yeah, it goes like that. So we are going to put this guy here. Oh, whoops. These are always a little bit of a pain to get in. Oh, shoot. Did that. That was a little scary. This thing just shot out the back. All right, but we got it. We got it right here. Go. Just making sure those are seated properly. And they are. Okay. So now let's do the other side. Peel these back so they don't get stuck. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll do this side first. Things are shooting out, man. All right, we're almost there. Excellent. There we go. All right, let's get these plastics off. These always have a two parts to them. Cool. This thing is nice. All right, so this has the micro adjust on it too. Oh. The micro. Oh man, those things get stuck everywhere. The micro adjust are these little levers right down here. So this thing just kind of pops up like that. You can slide it down and up, depending on little small adjustments on the wrist. There it is, the complete watch. This thing turned out super nice. That dial, that carbon fiber dial, looks excellent. Look at that. And the Jubilee bracelet is one of my favorites. It's just one of the most comfortable to wear because it's got so much. It just contours to your wrist so much, or so well. But there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of watch number 10 with this blacked out dial, white square hands, and this GMT case? All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching and joining me this evening. We're going to be building another watch here pretty soon. I'm waiting on a couple of things to get that one going. And I really hope that you enjoy watching these builds as much as I do building them. And yeah, if there's any specific watch you want to see me build, put that in the comments too, because I'd like to maybe at some point build a watch and either put them up for sale after, or maybe even do something fun like a raffle. So let me know what you think. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Oh, I cannot believe this almost happened. There's no logo on there. We need to fix that. So we're definitely not done. Definitely not done. Okay. The good thing is, it should take us like a minute. It's not going to take us long at all to do this. All right, here's what we need to get this done. Man, I can't believe I forgot to put a logo on there. How do we know it's even an Iggy watch? So we got that to deal with later. No worries. Easy peasy. I think we'll go with a the Chrome logo today. And there was a little hair in there too. I don't know how that snuck in there, but no worries. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this stem in so we can stop the second hand. Put it in hacking mode. I cannot believe I forgot. We're going to wait for the second hand to move around, and then we are going to add a logo. Completely forgot that. Oh my gosh. It's in a good spot right there. All right. Almost done. Almost there. Okay, now the real question is, should we go with the chrome logo to match the watch case, or should we put a black one? That's kind of shiny. I'm kind of torn both ways, but I think black is the way to go. So we're gonna go with the black one. It'll kind of be a little bit more subdued on this case, but I think it's the way to go. I think it'll match everything better. That lines up perfect. Can't believe I forgot that. How are we gonna go? And I think black's the way to go. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think, oh, that matches the indices, like that black shiny chrome on there. Perfect, yeah. Black was a good call on my part. Got a good eye for these things, yep. Good thing is this is all set, so let's make sure we don't have any dust in the case. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Sorry, we're going to put the stem back in. That'll line up the movement inside the case. I'll throw this back on. Oh, come on. I knew I was missing something. I'm like, this is going by way too smoothly for me to and of course, yeah, I forgot the logo. All right, so we're going to set this gasket back in. There we go. We are almost there. Really finalize this. I can't believe I did my whole ending spiel and then realized, hey, I'm missing something. That's good right there. And I always pull out the wooden dowel for that specific reason, and I had it out, and then I was like, oh, I didn't use the wooden dowel today. I wonder why. Just pure genius on my behalf. All right, well, let's check this out. There we go. Much better with the logo on there. All right. Now officially that's a wrap. Okay, so now thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. All the good stuff, but yeah. I'm glad this one turned out the way it did. It looks amazing, and I hope the person who gets it enjoys it. All right, everyone. Well, have a great night. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.